Hey everyone. Um, Before we get started here today, I want to apologize. I know I didn't put anything out for a while. Had a little bit of a health issue. Was in the hospital for a few days, but we're all good now. So we're gonna be back at it again. We're gonna do a finesse type jig today, and a little football head. And one of the things I wanted to cover that I never talked about is these little finesse style football heads. They're small, and we all know football jigs do better like on a hard bottom. You know, you're fishing around rock. It's not that great in, weeds uh, or even wood for that matter. But these smaller, lightweight football heads, you don't have to have a rock bottom or, a real hard area because they're light and it does a good job of keeping the hook upright. Um, they're something that you could use it. I use them a lot, these smaller ones. A lot of places to use them. But I wanted to let you know that that's one of the things is if you're fishing in an area where you don't have a lot of rock or a real hard bottom, but you don't have uh, all the cover like a lot of weeds or a lot of heavy brush. These small football heads do a really good job. Boat docks, boat docks, and bare banks are where these little football heads really shine. So anyway, we're going to get started here. This is an 8 ounce football head. The color is green pumpkin orange camo. I really like this color, and it looks like it's not really smooth, and it isn't. There's some dimpling. It's almost like a textured powder paint. Really nice, really nice paint for this type of this colored jig, which it's simply a crawdad flash is what I call it. Real easy. So before I bore you to death, we're gonna get started here with some brown 210 denier flat wax nylon thread, and we're gonna get our base started. The hook is a 2-aught Mustad 32 798. It's the lighter wire version. I'm gonna go all the way down here. Oh, right to about there. And first thing we're gonna do is this is a barred olive rabbit zonker. That's going to be the first thing we put on here. So I'm going to flip this up. You got the fuzz from that rabbit hair on there. And I already cut these to length. But if you were going to do it, you're looking at, just the standard length of your trailer. Maybe about an inch and a half, 2 inches behind the hook. And I'm just going to put that on there, not tie it down yet, just get it that it holds in place. And we're going to take it out of the vise and see where we're at. And then take our hook and pop it through. And back in the vise we go. Okay. Looks pretty good. I like where I'm at. And now we're going to button this down pretty good. You want to make sure that you're still staying centered. Okay. Next part. This is variegated tinsel chenille. This is brown. Um, I guess brown and black, but it's tinsel chenille, so it's variegated, but you could see it has that little bit of flash in it. The mylar material, really nice. And you don't have to peel the fibers back. I'm just throwing it in there um, just to get it started. And we're going to make a chenille ball here. That's pretty good. And we'll cut off our excess. Next step, another olive strip. And the reason I'm doing the olive is because I want a little bit of contrast with my trailer. Now, if you want to make it that it's works perfect with the color, you could use like a brown or a brown barred, whatever you want to do. That's the whole idea. But this, make sure you get it in there and get it tied on very well right from the get-go. The idea of this is it's similar to what SDG does with their hybrid Z. Same type of deal. You're using the rabbit hair, and it's your as your trailer. And what's nice about this is it really is buoyant. So what you end up with is a really nice presentation in the water. The profile is killer. Now I'm going to take this chenille and we're going to tie it in here and we're going to wrap. Just to give it a little bit of a body there. And cut the voila. So far, so good. I know it doesn't look like much now, but it gets better. First thing we're going to do, this is a half a tab of Nature's Edge pumpkin. And this is going to be a finesse type of tie with the crop top. Be a 42 strand skirt, which is a little bit heavier than what I normally would do on a smaller jig like this. But with the rabbit strips, it's going to make it very buoyant, so it's going to stand up, and this is going to give it a bulky look, but it's still a really light jig. Sort of trying to create that look of a bigger jig, but it's going to, like with the lighter weight, you're not digging into the bottom, especially now with the summer coming. These fish are real pressured. You find that they don't always cooperate. Bite gets a little tough. This is where this type of jig really shines. So we got our half a tab of Nature's Edge pumpkin. Now we're just going to put a half a tab of this brown. It has some fine black flake in it. You know, it's hard to see, but I apologize for that. In the same way, go right over top. It's good. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure we got some of it all the way around. And then finally, this is pumpkin brown multi glitter. This is a beautiful color. Normally I would use if I before this paint and some of the skirt material was available, the way I used to do this pattern was it would be a pumpkin brown head and then the Nature's Edge pumpkin, but I'd also use um, the Nature's Edge orange, which is like a burnt orange type of thing. I used a little bit of that and some brown, and that's how I would do this. But this fit the bill perfectly. When I got it, I was like, well, I'm gonna have to revise how I did that pattern and work it with some new material. That's why you'll never save money doing this unless you're really disciplined. Because every time something new comes out, you're like, oh, you gotta have it. And yes, it's an addiction, but it's not a bad one. Well, it could be depending on, if you find yourself having to mortgage your house and stuff because you're buying supplies. Yeah, that might be a little bit troublesome. You might be on the same level as a gambling addict. But other than that, it's a really good hobby. Nice to um, when you can do this and you see the results of it out in the water. Like the waters I fish are really pressured, and a lot of times you find yourself you can get bit when you're throwing something completely different than anybody else has. Uh, that's a feeling too that is hard to describe, but nothing like it. All we're gonna do is whip finish it, and we're done. I have a bunch of emails that I didn't get to yet, and I apologize. I've been pretty busy. Like I said, after I got out of the hospital there, it take it easy for a little bit, and uh, I have some stuff that I didn't get done that I'm working on, and plus trying to get back into the fishing thing. And that's that. All we do is take our scissors, trim it. We're going to take our water-based head cement here. And that's that. I'll show you what we have here after we trim it all up. If you want a rule of thumb for these crop tops, the best way to do it is just pull it that it's taut, and right above the head is where you want to make your cut. And I think that gives it the best look. Now with your skirt material down here, the way you're going to want to do this, once I get it free from all the rabbit hair, what you're going to want to do with this is cut it all, say, about an inch behind the hook. That'd be about the best way to, look at this, I'm all tangled up. I don't know how that happened. There we go. And now we got to put our FG12 weed guard in. Super glue gel. And our weed guard. Goes. Trust me, in the water, this is a lot better. The trailer looks big because it's fluffed up right now, but when this gets wet, this will stand right up. And your skirt material will flare out. This is a real easy one to do. And once I get my new tank set up, um, I'm hoping to have it done by the beginning of July. That's when I'm waiting for a sale. When the pet store has their $1 a gallon sale, that's when I'm gonna jump on one. But there you have it. That's just our basic flash craw with our rabbit strip trailer, finesse style. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.